National parks are some of the most serene and beautiful places in the world, offering visitors a chance to connect with nature. However, beneath this tranquil facade lies a disturbing pattern of strange disappearances. Over the years, people have vanished under mysterious circumstances in national parks, leaving behind baffling questions, eerie clues, and few answers. These disappearances have sparked numerous theories, from natural dangers and foul play to more far-out explanations, such as the supernatural. The mysterious case of Dennis Martin, Great Smoky Mountains National Park, 1969. Dennis Martin, a 6-year-old boy, vanished without a trace during a family camping trip in the Great Smoky Mountains on Father's Day weekend in 1969. The Martin family had been hiking near the Tennessee-North Carolina border when Dennis, playing a game of hide-and-seek with his brother, disappeared within moments. Despite one of the largest search operations in the history of the park, involving thousands of people, helicopters, and even Green Berets, no significant clues were found. What made Dennis's disappearance even stranger was a report from a family camping nearby, who claimed to have heard a scream and saw what appeared to be a man carrying something on his shoulder shortly after Dennis vanished. The search for Dennis Martin officially ended after weeks, but no body, clothing, or any sign of the boy has ever been discovered. His disappearance remains one of the most puzzling and unsettling mysteries in national park history. The vanishing of Stacy Ann Arras, Yosemite National Park, 1981. 17-year-old Stacy Ann Arras disappeared while hiking in Yosemite National Park in 1981, and her case remains one of the park's strangest mysteries. Stacy was part of a group riding horseback to Sunrise High Sierra Camp when she decided to take a short walk to snap photos of the surrounding landscape. Accompanied by an elderly man, she left the group to walk toward a nearby lake, promising to return shortly. However, the elderly man soon tired and sat down, while Stacy continued toward the lake. She was never seen again. Despite a massive search effort involving helicopters, search dogs, and hundreds of volunteers, no trace of Stacy has ever been found, no clothing, equipment, or even footprints. To this day, no one knows what happened to her, and Yosemite officials have released very few details about the case, adding an element of secrecy that continues to fuel speculation and conspiracy theories. The bizarre disappearance of Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon, Panama, 2014. Though not a U.S. national park case, the disappearance of Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon in Panama shares eerie similarities to other park-related vanishings. In 2014, the two Dutch tourists set out to hike the Pianista Trail in the mountainous region near Boquete, Panama. They were never seen alive again. Weeks later, searchers found a backpack containing their belongings, including cameras and phones, which told a disturbing story. Photos from their camera showed the women enjoying their hike, but later photos, taken in the dark, deep in the wilderness, appeared disoriented and haunting, as if they were trying to find their way or signal for help. Their phones revealed attempts to contact emergency services, but with no reception in the area, these efforts were unsuccessful. 2 months after their disappearance, some of their bones and remains were discovered far from where they had initially disappeared. Despite this, the exact cause of their deaths remains unclear, and many questions remain unanswered, leading some to believe foul play was involved. The case remains one of the most baffling wilderness disappearances of the 21st century. The unsolved disappearance of David Paulides, missing 411 cases. Researcher and former police officer David Paulides has documented over 1,000 mysterious disappearances in national parks through his Missing 411 series. Paulides highlights strange patterns in many of these cases, such as how individuals disappear without a trace, often in remote areas, and are found, if at all, in places that searchers had already combed. Many of these cases involve experienced hikers and outdoorsmen who seemingly vanish under circumstances that defy explanation. One such case is that of Charles McCullough, a 19-year-old photographer who disappeared in 1975 while hiking in Crater Lake National Park. His remains were found 7 months later in an area where his body should have been visible to searchers, yet his bones were scattered, with only his pants and shoes intact. The cause of death was never determined. Paulides has pointed out that search dogs often cannot find a scent in these cases, and many victims seem to vanish suddenly, sometimes even under the eyes of companions. The government has also been criticized for failing to keep comprehensive records of missing persons in national parks, further deepening the mystery. The unsolved disappearance of Thelma Pauline Melton, Great Smoky Mountains National Park, 1981. In 1981, 58-year-old Thelma Pauline Melton was hiking with two friends in the Great Smoky Mountains when she disappeared suddenly and without explanation. Thelma, who had hiked the trail many times before, was walking ahead of her friends when she vanished after turning a corner. When her companions reached the spot where they last saw her, Thelma was gone, leaving no trace behind. Extensive searches, involving park rangers, bloodhounds, and helicopters, turned up no clues. Thelma's disappearance remains one of the most baffling cases in the Smokies, with no explanation as to how she could have vanished so quickly and without a sound. Theories behind national park disappearances. The unexplained disappearances in national parks have given rise to several theories. Some of the most commonly proposed explanations include natural hazards, rugged terrain, wild animals, and sudden weather changes can be lethal, but they don't explain why many bodies are never found or why some remain are discovered in areas already searched. Foul play. Some believe these disappearances may involve serial killers or kidnappers, though this is hard to prove given the vastness of many national parks. Supernatural or paranormal causes. More speculative theories suggest everything from alien abductions to encounters with cryptids, like Bigfoot, could be responsible for these disappearances. Government cover-ups. Some conspiracy theorists argue that the National Park Service and other government agencies may be covering up information about disappearances to avoid bad publicity or prevent panic. Conclusion. The strange disappearances in national parks remain one of the most baffling mysteries in modern history. Despite the breathtaking beauty of these wilderness areas, they also hold hidden dangers and unsolved mysteries that may never be fully explained. Whether these disappearances are due to natural causes, human intervention, or something else entirely, they continue to intrigue and unsettle the public.